Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is a farm where we grow cross stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, August 22nd. It's been the Mondayest Monday ever.
I should not do that when I'm stuffed up. I should really not do that when I'm stuffed up.
Someone very stuffy today. So there may be lots of pauses.
So I apologize for the sniffles in advance.
He's gonna.
If you have a serious problem, I can't help it. And if you have a problem with sniffles, we'll see you next week because there's nothing I can do about it. My nose is leakier than a basin that was used as a redneck's target practice.
Well, alrighty then. How's y'all's week been?
My week was great. Today sucked.
The week was great. Today sucked. Yeah, the week was pretty good.
We had a lot of fun Saturday.
I went yarn shopping on Thursday. I went to a yarn store and had lots of fun. Bought some bougie yarn. I have to buy more to go with it to make the project I want, but one skein at a time at that price. And we had a whole little afternoon outing. It was my stitchy group, my Monday stitchy group. We had a whole little afternoon outing. We went to the yarn store. We had lunch at a little tea room up by where the yarn store was at. And we went into a bunch of the little shops over in, it's called Olmsted Falls. And you have this little place called Pacific Junction. And they've got, like, a very varying shops. So, yarn store, a couple knick-knack shops, an antique store, and such. And it was a good time. We had a good time. So, that was fun. And Friday kicked off the annual pizza sub construction for the fair at Mom and Dad's church. Whew! Tons of fun. But kicked my butt. Let me tell you. Today more than Friday, but it was fun. And then Saturday, what'd we do, honey?
We spent a rather large, but still saved a good amount of money on a permanent pool above ground.
We have purchased our permanent above ground pool. And yes, because it's the end of the season, they had various sales, and we did save a significant amount of money. So.
Hint to anybody looking to get a pool, ask right now, because especially the smaller places, if they don't have a sale going on, they will shortly.
Right. And like the place we went,
they deliver pool stuff.
Right. The place we went to, it's a small local place, and we actually were able to put a small deposit down on the pool. Got us on the list, and we have to pay it in full before we take delivery of the, installation of the pool. So if you're like, oh, I gotta wait till taxes or this or that or whatever, and you can do, that's also an option.
Or you could just do what we did and get an Intertech or Summer Wave frame pool, which a lot of people seem to be doing. They're not bad, especially considering the fact they're like 10 times cheaper than a permanent pool.
Right.
But they won't last as long, and the filters are nowhere near as good. Though if you do get one of those pools, please, 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 buy the good filters. Buy the filters from the manufacturer that they specify, because if you buy the cheap stuff, it won't work. I went through 4 cheap filters
in 2 months.
I had this filter that I put in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's still clean.
Yeah, and we bought a less expensive. We're like, okay, we need more algicide. So here's a good one. It's a little bit cheaper. It's got the clarifier in it, which if you know about pools, you have to do that when you do algicide. And, Joe read the bottles, did the math on it, put in the proper amount. It did nothing. We put the whole bottle in there.
I put twice the recommended amount and twice the recommended amount of chlorine. And I also put in the shock treatment with chlorine in it. Like, the pool was really green when we came back from our trip. So I was like, you know what? I'm not getting this in a few days anyway. So I'm going to go overkill. And it did nothing.
I mean, it was starting to go green before we went on our trip. And we're like, well, we're not going to get in it for a few days.
Oh,
so
no. I poured that's when I poured all that stuff that I'm talking to you about before we went on our trip.
Yeah.
And it did nothing.
It did nothing.
It got worse.
The whole bottle of algicide did nothing. It got worse. So we went back to the other algicide, and within 24 hours,
2 ounces.
It was clear.
2 ounces.
And the only reason I bring this up is because, of course, I try to do, because when I buy stuff on Amazon, I really do read through the reviews to see if I'm buying a good product or not. So I do try to do the Amazon reviews. And when I went into the one stuff we had that did nothing, everybody on there was like, well, if it's not doing anything, you're not using the proper amount. I'm like, dude, we read the bottle. He did what he was supposed to. It did nothing. Like, it didn't even attempt. Don't tell me I'm not doing it right. Sometimes people that review stuff are just... Anyways.
And these are probably also the people who probably go through a gallon of it a week because they don't read the instructions themselves.
Right.
It comes in basically, it's the same size bottle as a Clorox bleach.
Yeah,
it was
it's a
just
gallon.
blue. But by the grace, I think using blue dyed water would have been more effective.
Probably.
At least it would have added some blue.
I will say that next year, the only thing we'll have to worry about is the algicide and the clarifier, because we were able to...
There'll be a couple more things we have to worry about, but nowhere near as much.
Because we were able to upgrade to a salt system for free. No chlorine. Makes me happy.
Yep, like, I'm not going to have to add as much, but I will have to monitor a couple things. But it won't shift like this one does. Like, the problem is that when we bought this pool, there were no solid tablets at all. So we had to get the liquid stuff. But we decided to get the 4 gallons of the liquid stuff, and we still have 1 gallon left, and it's late August. And we bought it last year. So we didn't want to go buy the tablets this year because we had what we needed.
And we ain't got to worry about it next year.
And I found a person at work who's willing to take the thing off my hands.
Which is great.
And no, I'm not charging them. I'm that human. I no longer need this thing.
That thing's probably only got about a summer left.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2. I mean, she can have it. She can have it.
Yeah. And you know what? She's going to greatly appreciate it, and she's going to do the exact same thing we did with it.
Yeah, see if she wants to get a permanent pool. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Beat it.
I'm honestly just wondering whether or not her husband knows she agreed to it.
Well, I'm sure he'll find out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, obviously he'll find out. But anyways. So, yeah. So that's been our week. Kicked my butt today doing pizza subs. Then I went grocery shopping. I got home. I didn't eat lunch till like 1 o'clock. It was awful. It was rough. But I bought a lemon meringue pie on sale that I apparently didn't. That I didn't need, but I guess I wanted it. And it was really good, so.
90% of what you buy at the grocery store, technically you don't need.
Well, this is
you get it because you want it because it tastes good. You can literally just go to the oatmeal aisle.
This is true. This is true.
And you know what? Comfort food is comfort food. And on the grand scheme of things, I think lemon meringue pie is nowhere near as bad as half the crap you could have gotten in that aisle.
Lemon is my weakness.
Oh, I had a funny question about that. I need to ask you after I press the button. What
Okay.
I want to press.
Well, why don't we go ahead and press the button and move into whips? Haha, just kidding. We forgot to do the commenters.
Sorry.
Sorry. You had to sneeze in.
Oh, fair word. Those who should have been on Zoom know me. When I get like this, it's how many sneezes am I going to do? My record's in the mid-20s.
Yes, it is. Right, why don't we do the commenters?
Okay. Anna. Andre.
Angie.
Yeah, okay. Pauline, Lynn, Janet, Teresa, and Tamara, the PD Stitcher.
Yes.
And that would be
lots
Simon.
of you agree that I should not work on a fabric that I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know what? I'm going to simply sum this up, and if anybody ever disagrees with you, you have my permission to raise one finger in their general direction, and I'm pretty sure you know which one I'm talking about. Because this is what you do for fun. If you're not having fun, don't do it. You'll ruin your hobby. That's why I honestly, you've got to be a special type of human to enjoy cross-stitching and do model stitching. Because once you add the stress of work to a hobby, like I love building things. I don't do it around the house because I do it at work. And I get enough of my fill at work. Trust me.
It does. So, all right, now we're going to go on to whips.
Yep.
Whips.
Whips?
Whips?
Yep. Ebenora. Nora Corbett. Ebenora. You're going to have to tell me what fabric it is because my brain is currently checked out.
His brain is. It is on 16 count, hand-dyed by the Slovak Farm in Heirloom.
Actually, probably the game was up to here.
Yeah, yeah. So, you got a good amount of stitches done.
Yeah, I got a little bit of stitching. I was actually going to get the stitching Friday night because one of my friends canceled, and then something happened, and he needed a distraction.
Oh my.
And, like, it wasn't, like, bad. His wife had a bad concussion.
Oh.
And she was staying overnight at the hospital for observation. So he needed a distraction.
Oh.
So we all popped on and shot the crap for a few hours.
Yeah. Give him a little bit of it. Yeah. Okay.
I got my question for the day. Yay.
Yay. Okay.
No, I was going to say a question real quick.
Okay.
Where did it go? There it is. Have you ever just wanted to just hang out with friends just because if you stopped and thought you would have cried? And are you the good friend that lets somebody do that?
Yes. Okay. Let us go into my whips. So, Greyhound Week in Daily 30.
Zoom.
Zoomies!
Zing. Zong. Where's the blur? Trust me, when she wants to, that dog's a blur.
Yes, exactly. So, these are in no particular order. Stitch and a Whip, that was an adoption. I adopted this from Angie because she just was not going to stitch it because it's not her jam. Yes. Yes, it is in a plastic zip-top bag.
Isn't that like Laura faux pas #1?
No. It's not a hand-dyed fabric. Well, okay, so it's a silk weaver's fabric, so they're a little bit more color stable.
Okay, I was about to say, is it like Color Fest?
Yeah.
I know words.
Yes. So I did 300 stitches on this. Most of it was backstitch, as you can see. Bella's all backstitched. There was a small boo-boo on here, Angie. I figured it out really quick and was able to totally work around it. So, and y'all can't tell what it is. So, there you go. So I need to work on backstitching the beach beast. I finished her. Yeah, I finished her hair. I finished stitching the brown on her hair. There was a couple other little spots that needed like a stitch or two, and then I backstitched and backstitched and backstitched and backstitched. Oh, and there's some like star things there.
Those are that looks similar to those little figurines that your grandmother had. That the lady who also did stitching, but we met the lady who
Precious
made
Moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those look like Precious Moment over 400, don't they?
Kind of.
Really big head.
Yeah.
Round head.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. Fall on the Farm was my Sal project for the week. I am on to block 3. I went on Hoffman's last night to look for something else and realized I haven't got that. My automatic on the last ones never came to me. Never got sent to me. I'm gonna have to go order them because I do have 2 people who are on the list, and I'm gonna have to reorder chart number 4 for myself because I don't know what I did with mine.
I'll say that afterwards. Or I'll probably forget.
So this is done on 32 count hand dyed by the Slovak Farm Dirt Road. I did 306 stitches, which was the top of this fence and these corn stalks and the birds. So
There we go. You can see my thumbs up.
these actually stitch up relatively quickly. I mean,
You're so talented.
I try. I try. Okay. And then we're actually going to hold on that one. Then I rounded out the week with stitch on something that was more than 80% or more done, and stitch on something that you could see from half a mile away. I used my pass on Stitch on Your Project with the Oldest Copyright because with my little road trip on Thursday, I didn't get much stitching time. I just did not have time to finish, and I was not going to stress myself out about it, even though I could have gotten it stitched. I have the pass. I might as well use the pass and say, okay, we're good.
God bless you.
Thank you. Goodness. Surprise. All right. So, Lady with Dog, she is more than 80% done, and I'm pretty sure you could see her from half a mile away. Might not be able to make out that it's a woman walking a dog, but... Okay, this is a DesignWorks kit, so it is on the kit fabric. I did 649 stitches. I finished the front part of the dog. She is 2 foot tall, yes. I'm pretty sure you can see this from half a mile away. And then I started on the dog spot. And that is a lot of dog butt. It's a lot of dog butt. It's a lot of dog butt. 300 something of that 600 stitches was actually just on the behind of the dog. Okay. So then I went to finishing up what?
Yes, I just looked this up. A greyhound can literally, you can see greyhound from a half mile away, and she will run right to you.
Yes, because a greyhound can see for half a mile.
No. 0.68 miles is the length of the regular racetrack. Yeah, but that's the length they run for their races. So literally, you can see a greyhound, because trust me, they're coming right at you, wanting pets.
Yep. Speaking of the greyhound wanting pets, she just got behind.
Okay.
So then I went into my oh, hold on a second. That sneeze kind of dislodged some
That's what it does. So
up in there, and it was like, okay, gotta get it. Anyways, hello, Greyhound. Okay, so I really probably didn't have a reason to worry about not having time to get the oldest copyright prompt done, but I have my pass, so I'm just going to use my pass and say.
You don't need to explain it. You did it. We're good.
So, I moved on to finishing up the monthlies, and I did actually manage to finish the last 4 monthlies this weekend, which means next weekend I don't have monthlies to worry about. Anyways. So the August monthly was a poem, and we had to relate it to these little clips of a poem. So, A Road and Girls were the two things I pulled out of 2 of the prompts and related it to Victorian Way. And I ended up doing 642 stitches on this. I finished this side of the road. This side of the road. I backstitched, and then I did the backstitch. I had several spots where I missed stitches. I don't know what I was doing. So I filled those in. And as you can see, I backstitched the light pole and the carriage. The house and these 2 trees. The house is all backstitched. One thing I did notice, and it's kind of noticeable on the roof, when I was doing, you know, the over one block in some of my stitches with the backstitch got real hard to see. And actually, in the directions where it gives you for the backstitching, it says, if this happens, you know, do longer strips. I ended up switching to that with the white. Because as you can tell, some of the backstitching on the house. Okay, we're back. So, sorry about that. As I was saying, the backstitching was getting kind of sucked into the stitches. So the directions kind of tell you to, if that happens, kind of tell you to stitch over a longer, you know, space. The top 3 posts, I did the whole length. That was a little too long. So I just kind of broke it up. I think I did, most of them are between 3 and 5 stitches. Where, you know, they're long stretches. And if you find your backstitching is doing that on a project and it's, you know, got a longer space, you can always do that and it'll give you more, the backstitching will stick out a little bit. And then I started the house that is over here. It's hard to tell because there's only this little bit of the roof and the ivory. But, so that's worked on Victorian Way. And I can't backstitch the guy and the horse until I get part of the house in there. I realized that when I went to backstitch him and went, oh, I gotta do some stitches before I do that. It is what it is. Okay, and then for my Focus Sunday project, excuse me, it was Tale as Old as Time. This is a Silk Weavers. Have no idea what the name of it is. I just know it's a Silk Weaver. Because if it's not a hand-dyed by the Slovak Farm fabric, it's a Silk Weavers fabric. So I started on this block, which is Maurice in the castle. So I am putting mine. If you did not do the extended frames, this August release was the last one for the Sal. There are bonus frames, which I am doing. So I did the extended frames. And I am putting them on in order in the movie. I'm doing them in movie order.
Chronological.
So, yes, chronological. So, this was, I actually got 642 No. 616 stitches on it.
Sorry.
616 stitches on it. So monthlies, there was a piece of the poem that was rose. I mean, come on. There will be a rose on here eventually. There will be, you know, I think. I don't.
Isn't that like the central item of the plot?
Exactly. And guess what? There's a whole block dedicated to the rose under the cloche in the east wing. I haven't got that far yet, but the enchantress is holding a rose. So, right there. She's holding a little rose. So, and then feet. There's lots of feet on this. And this was a very color blocky block, as you can tell. I only have this little bit to stitch. So, and somebody in the group was like, why are the castle turrets $8.19? That is a pink. That doesn't look pink stitched up. I do not understand, but the way our eyes work with color, it works and it looks gorgeous. It very much has that creamy white.
That's just one of those trust the process.
Trust the process, yes. Okay, so that's been my stitches for the week. We shall return with plans. Plans and announcements.
I plan on not sneezing my head off my shoulders.
Please don't. Oh, excuse me. That was quite the hiccup. Oh, that tasted like dinner.
Literally, that's the only thing on my mind right now is my nose has rebelled against the rest of me and it hates me.
My poor hubby. My poor hubby.
Like, I was going to stitch tonight, but I swear I will literally go to the hospital with the needle going through my finger. You see how my sneezes get.
I know. Okay. Well, my plans
are to be awesome.
August 16th was National Roller Coaster Day, which commemorates the introduction of the first roller coaster. So, the wonderful Cat, who is my friend, wrote and works at Kings Island in Cincinnati area, and is a roller coaster enthusiast. Wrote prompts to go with National Roller Coaster Day, and the roller coaster themed. I don't know where I was going with that. I hate roller coasters. Terrified of them. I used to go on them.
I'm not afraid. Like, literally, the actual. I don't care what a roller coaster does, because once it starts going, I don't care. My problem is the 3 minutes it takes to get to the top of that hill feels like it takes 3 hours of excruciating terror. Literally, the thing can drop straight down, do a belly roll, do a backflip, pretend it's like every ace fighter in every world war that's ever been, plus every conflict since then, doing a maneuver from every single one of them, go totally nuts, activate a jet booster, go into space, come back, do 20 more dirt twirls, and I won't care. Nothing will be as scary as slowly getting up to the top of that flipping hill. Because as it's going, a lot of them are like, and I'm like, don't break, don't break, don't break. Because guess where these things break every freaking time? As they crust over that hill, they stop and stall. And that is like the most terrifying thing in the world. I went to Six Flags Great Adventure. And one of their new big ride at the time was stalled. It was the tallest roller coaster in the country. And it was stalled with the people over the first hill. Stuck there, and it took them 3 hours to get these people down.
Yeah. Okay.
So, no.
Yeah, I don't do roller coasters. I'm terrified. I used to do roller coasters, but nope. couch. So, that being said, our first prompt is to stitch on your oldest whip to commemorate the original roller coasters. My current oldest whip is Shannon Christine's Belle. I really need to get that done.
Yep. Aren't you done the evil roses?
I think I've got a couple more roses, but it's a lot easier. Let me just tell you, your idea of taking a picture of the rose pattern of the pattern, taking a picture of that, and then blowing it up has helped tremendously.
The cameras on cell phones nowadays are better than the digital cameras that were 5 years ago.
Right. So, the first roller coaster was designed and patented in 1885, by the way. Stitch in either gold, blue, or red thread, or a combination of the three. That commemorates one of the oldest active coasters now. It's probably going to be alternative stitches. I don't think I have anything that has enough of those.
Do you have any Hakon Hollows to do?
No. What I have to do on Hakon Hollow is not a blue area. What I have to do on Scenic Farm is not a blue area.
Is there any gold left on Belle?
No, I've done all the gold thread on Belle. I mean, I have yellow left on her, but it's not gold.
Isn't there... What are you doing the silver thread on? That you did a substitution, you did it like last week? Or 2 weeks ago?
I have no idea.
One of the pretty ladies. A fairy. Lily. The cow lily?
Yeah, that doesn't have...
I thought you did metallic silver on the wings.
That's not gold.
I said gold or silver.
Gold, blue, or red.
Wow. My brain is not currently functioning. I apologize.
The projects where I have significant blocks of those colors, I'm not at those points yet. So that's probably going to be alternative stitches. Stitch on a piece that contains mountains, snow, or ice.
Scenic Farm.
I actually have a couple. I actually started the ornament I need to work on for Letters of the Month. My G ornament, my G project, Give Joy. It's got snowflakes on it.
Cool.
So, yeah. Work on a whip that you need to finish before you can start another one.
The ornament? Those are the only thing I know of that you do sequentially. Not even that?
Not even that. Honestly, I have nothing. So we have to do alternatives for that. And then this one's definitely getting alternative stitches. Pick your favorite themed roller coaster. I hate roller coasters. And stitch on a piece you can relate to its theme. I hate roller coasters, so we're doing alternatives. It's a good thing this is a 100-200 week, because I'm going to do a lot of 300 stitches.
Technically, I thought of one that actually would work. Do you have to do it? Do you have anything to do on Hakon Hollow?
Yes.
Because the closest and biggest roller coaster to us are at Cedar Point. It's off the lake, so it's off a large body of water. So you
That's not a roller coaster theme. The prompt is pick your favorite themed roller coaster.
Oh, I thought they had a water themed roller coaster in Cedar Point. No, I tried.
They did. How long has it been since I've been to Cedar Point?
Longer than I've been here.
I was single.
Okay, well, hey, I tried to help.
So, it's going to be a lot of alternative stitches this week. It is a 100-200 week, so I'll just deal with alternative stitches. And then we go to our Sal prompt, which technically this week would be Supernaturals. So, that's the plans for the week. I have 0 announcements. So, what do we want the people to do?
Have a lovely week.
Have a great week.
Please like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, the whole YouTube thingy-me-bobby spiel stuff, whatever. I'm sorry, my brain is frying.
He's mad. All right. Thank you guys for joining us and spending a bit of your week with us. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.